Hi there, this is Jen, and thanks for joining me. Today I am participating in the Same Set Syndrome Hop. If you've been with us for the past 6 months, we've been doing a hop every month, and this month our sponsor is Scrapping for Less. And if you are familiar with Scrapping for Less, the owner is Teresa Russell. Unfortunately, Scrapping for Less is closing its doors. Teresa has decided to enjoy the retirement life. And right now in the Scrapping for Less store, everything is priced to clear or to move out. So it is a great opportunity for you to get some deals on some crafty supplies. We are working with the Scrapping for Less 6x6 paper pack. It's called Frosty Gnomes, and along with the paper pack there is some ephemera pieces. I don't know if this is still in the shop, but if it is and you are interested, please go ahead and check that out. I will leave links below. Since this is the last month of our hop, we are doing sort of like a grand prize giveaway, and that giveaway is $50, and the $50 will be to any sponsor of your choice. I will leave a list of the sponsors that we had for this hop this year below, so you can choose from those sponsors. To enter, all you have to do is leave a comment below, and please go ahead and leave a comment on all of the participants' blogs or Instagram or YouTube channels in order to be entered with those channels as well. And these are some of the ephemera papers, and I just went ahead and printed these on my inkjet printer and used my scan and cut to cut these out. For the first card, I am grabbing some of that pattern paper, and I'm also using this die for my stash. I believe this is a Sizzix die, and so the die makes this border, and then it also makes a centerpiece. And so I cut one of the pieces out of the pattern paper, and then I did a white border just using some white cardstock. And I'll go ahead and assemble the card. This cute little gnome right here was one of the kind of like journal cards or cut apart pieces from the ephemera, and I just cut around him just so I had his face and not the background that he was originally on. And so I'm taking my double-sided adhesive, and I will go ahead and adhere that piece of pattern paper to a 4 1/4 by 5.5 white card base. And then I will use my adhesive again to put that centerpiece from the die cut. And then I'm going to use my red top fine line glue to add a little bit of glue around that die cut piece. And I'm going to go ahead and lay that down over that die cut piece. And then I'm going to slip the little gnome underneath, so hit the bottom portion of his body is kind of hidden by that die cut piece. And then I will set a acrylic block on that to help it dry a little bit. And to finish off the little gnome, I went ahead and took a glue dot and a little red puffy ball that I had in my stash, and I added that to the top of his little hat. And then the sentiment I used says believe, and that is a piece of the ephemera. And then to finish it off, I added some stickles in Christmas red, as well as some of the vintage Nuvo drops in chalkboard, and that will finish off that first card. That little gnome is super duper cute. For my second card, I'm going to use another few pieces of the ephemera, a white piece of cardstock from my stash, and then a piece of the pattern paper. Before I assemble the card, I'm going to take the gnome and my colored pencils and just add a little bit more detail and depth to the image. And usually when I'm doing this, I am just very lightly using my colored pencil. I don't want a harsh line. And so I add a little bit of detail to the hat and to his beard and the clothing as well. And this is a great way to add a little more character to, for instance, ephemera or, you know, other pieces that are already colored. Using a colored pencil or even pattern paper that has images on it, colored pencils are a great way to add a little bit of something extra to your card. And I'm going to go ahead and pop up the sentiment with some of this foam. This is super thin. If you've seen my videos, I talk about this foam a lot. because I have been using it a lot. I used to use kind of the thicker foam squares or foam strips, but I find that I really love the thinness of this foam because it does not affect my postage when I mail cards like this out, because it doesn't raise it up too much or make it too thick. And so I've been using it on most of my cards this holiday season. And so I added a little strip of foam to the back of that gnome because part of it is going to be raised a little bit, because I have him partially sitting on that sentiment and partially against the back of the card. And then this ho ho ho, I just cut that apart from one of the pieces of ephemera. So I'm adhering that, and then I will adhere all of my pieces to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 white card base. And then I also add a few embellishments on this one as well. I believe it is with some diamond stickles, and that will finish off that card. And the sentiment says, "I'll be gnome for Christmas." Super cute. I really love the red and the blue together. And for my last card, I wanted to use another of the really cute gnome pieces in the ephemera. And so for this one, I'm not going to use pattern paper. I am taking a piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending with my Catherine Pooler inks. I put down the color It's a Boy really lightly over the entire card, and then on the outside edges, I am using the color All That Jazz, which is a little bit of a darker blue. And then I spritz that with my water bottle and let that sit about 15 seconds or so, and then pulled up that ink with the paper towel. And then I saw Lisa Mincing do some white splatter using this pen, and so I decided to try it out myself. I purchased this. This is a Kuretake, and it's called a cartoonist brush pen. So it comes in a pen, and it comes in, you can also get the ink just in a little container, and it is a bright opaque ink, and I am always on the lookout for a bright white ink for splatters. Because not all of the ink stays white. Some of it turns gray, some of it turns the color of whatever you're putting it on. And so I thought I'd go ahead and try this out, and I actually really like it. And so I went ahead and splattered that on my background. And then I took this cute little gnome image and adhered it to another piece of the ephemera, tied a little piece of string and knotted it around the front, and then adhered that to my card base. And then I added a few of the diamond stickles, and that finishes off this card and my journey on this hop for these 6 months. I hope you have enjoyed. Don't forget to enter the giveaway, as well as visit the other participants in the hop. Also, don't forget to check out the Scrapping for Less website and get yourself some awesome deals on some crafty products. As always, if you like this video or found it informative, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to spend with me, and I'll catch you next time.